Welcome to Going Behind the Book with Bert. Today our focus will be on author Mary Roach. She wrote the book Stiff. This book was written after the death of her mother. Her curiosity about the process of death and its final stages drove her to anatomy labs, to crash test centers, and even crash sites, and even to exploring messy and illegal history. Joining us today is Jenna Burlow. She has read this book and is prepared to present her thoughts and her summary. Welcome to you, Jenna. Thank you so much for joining us, and we anticipate your personal responses and feelings. My first question that I wanted to ask, obviously, did you like the book or not?
Yeah, the book as a whole, not completely, but parts of it I did.
Well, what were some of the things that you did like?
Well, chapter 10 was pretty interesting about the people, cannibalism, people eating other people.
Oh, okay. And what were some of the things that you really didn't like?
I didn't like that in one of the chapters that talking about donating your body to science, that the families and you won't know what the body will be used for.
Had you, before that, thought that you would be able to know from what you've learned about organ donating?
Yeah, I thought you would have at least an idea where it would be going to.
And so this kind of surprised you
Yeah,
in this
it did a
article.
lot.
That's really, well, and I think maybe that's what she was trying to impress upon people too, that you don't really know. Even if you're specific in your will or things like that, it can still be changed. Is that what you're saying?
No, it's like if you completely donate without like saying, I just want to be for this,
Okay.
like a specific thing, they'll do that.
Okay.
But if you want, like if you just say to donate your body to science,
They do whatever.
then they do whatever they
Okay.
need at the
All right,
time that they're doing.
I see what you mean. What's maybe one thing that you kind of learned besides the donating of organs or donation? Is there anything else that you learned from this book?
There was many things, I guess. Just the way that some of the colleges that she visited, like how they do tests and stuff, like the different
Were these
things.
specific parts of the college? Was this anatomy or something?
Yeah, one
Okay.
of the Tennessee, I believe,
Okay.
had its own area where they tested different dead people and how they reacted to the sun and how they decompose, just leaving it be without people touching it.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Was there also, or did you find out from the book, when they give the whole body, do they use like all the parts?
It depends on what they're actually being used for, like
Okay.
I said before. Like they could be doing anything specific, but like overall they'll be testing different things to use on what organs and this and that.
Okay, so how certain tests will apply to
Yeah.
different things.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I want to go back real quickly to this chapter that you referred to called cannibalism. Was there any particular thing that really, sparked your curiosity or something?
Well, in the chapter it talked about how the daughter-in-law would feed a part of her own body to the mother-in-law to show that she was worthy and this and that.
Didn't this kind of seem a little gross to you, though?
Yeah, it was really disgusting.
Oh, well, I suppose, was there any part of it, though, that fascinated you a little bit?
Not really, it was kind of like gross. But like it was the gross, interesting kind of thing where you gotta like keep reading to know what happens.
So the shock technique kind of
Yeah.
took a hold of you. Okay, that's very interesting, and sometimes just the everyday mundane doesn't really strike you, but when you finally find out something that's a little scary. When you studied this cannibalism, was there any particular part of the country or any particular country where this was used more than others?
I believe it was also used in Sweden. And there was a couple other that I can't remember right offhand.
Were there any more recent things that she followed in her book any recent activities that would show that this still happens today?
Well, when she was doing this, she did like crash test dummies. So like, they don't use real bodies anymore, they use the dummies.
Right.
But like, they still like do that, but they like.
Had they previously done that, using real bodies?
Yeah, they used it. They also used it for planes crashes, just simulation of that.
Interesting.
And they also used the impact test with shooting people with weapons, to test for weapons on
To-
the dead bodies.
Oh,
the
so
cadavers.
how different parts of the body would react to that?
Yep.
Very interesting. I don't know if I could have made it through that book. I really give you a lot of credit for getting all the way through it too. That was it. That's quite a title that she has, Stiff. Is there any particular reason why you would think she would call that?
I personally believe because after like the cadaver is dead, like it just